Hi, my name is Natalie Weaver, and welcome to the Grow with Sophia series, where we are giving you a glimpse into our lives with Sophia from birth all the way up until her 10.5 years of life. I promised Sophia that I would continue to keep her story and impact on this world alive. We would love to share the lessons that we learned from her about true beauty, acceptance, and unconditional love.
I remember, leaving the NICU numerous times because of not being able to take her home earlier, so we had a month or so of that. And so always driving home with the back seat empty it was a terrible feeling. And then the day that we put her actually in the car seat, got it checked out, and we drove away. And so we got her home, and she had her room all ready to go and decked out. But for us, it was just a time of firsts. We didn't know kind of what to expect. I think she slept with us for a while, in between us for
years,
for quite a while. But we were getting used to that, and like Natalie said, the sort of the sounds and the cries and the laughter and everything, just the typical kind of new baby things. But then you layer on top of that the special Sophia things that we had to get to know. But I remember it was very scary in a lot of ways as well, just being a new parent and really being on your own and not knowing exactly what the future held for all of us. But at the same time, it was exciting and it was memorable. And we have a lot of pictures and videos, and I'm glad we took those because it's great to see them now.
Hi. Hey, baby girl. Hey, Sophia Jane. She wants what she wants, that is for sure. Mm-hmm. She's a feisty one. Takes after who?
You.
Mama.
So I remember we got Sophia home just in time for Thanksgiving. My parents actually lived several houses down, so I remember walking her over to my parents' house and having Thanksgiving, and it was just a really wonderful time.
The thing about Thanksgiving or any other holiday in those early days for sure was everybody would argue over who was going to hold Sophia. Yeah, that was always the thing. It was always like, no, Papa's going to hold her. No, Grandma's going to hold her. No, Juju's going to hold her.
Thanksgiving was a lot of fun, and then we had Christmas. So she had her first Christmas when she was 2 months old. I just remember appreciating every single moment and celebrating every little sound she would make.
Hey, baby, we got you right here. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was 2 or 3 months old when she started receiving physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, which was also feeding therapy. And she had a feeding tube, so we weren't sure if she was going to be able to eat. And so she started all of that really early on. I learned, how to help her build her strength. And so we would focus on that every day.
You're going to get those strong arms.
Yay! We're working on it. You'll figure it out. Yes, you will.
It was pretty clear early on that she was strong and feisty and really sweet and silly.
Hey, you farted on my face. That's funny.
I'm gonna get you, octopus. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I got you.
One of her favorite things to do was to giggle, and she had that giggle throughout her 10.5 years of life, and it always lit up the room and brought a smile to our faces and just so much happiness to hear that laughter.
She would laugh with her whole body, and she did for her whole life, and it was such a beautiful thing to see. And
ready to go up? Up? Up! Yay! Tutu! 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 Hey, sweet girl.
We didn't really know how much longer we'd have with her, and every chance to make her laugh, we would try to make that happen.
And what was really great is seeing Mark, become a dad. And they had a special bond, and she was a daddy's girl from the start.
Yeah.
It was just really sweet, and you could hold her, and then she would look right up at you with those big eyes. It was just so expressive, and she knew how to communicate early with the gifts that she'd been given.
We spent most of our time holding her, cuddling with her, and then appointments had to start, and so we had to start taking her out and about. To us, she was our
little baby.
Yeah, amazing little baby that had been through so much and wasn't expected to survive birth, and she did. And so we saw strength and beauty, but the only thing people saw when we would bring her out were her differences. And I'm holding my baby and watching people stare at her and react to her in a negative way. And sometimes it was just curiosity, but sometimes, people were very rude.
At some point, we would take her out to the grocery store or something like that, and I was just wanting her to be out like normal, because that's what you do with your child. I remember putting her on the baby carrier, walking her around the neighborhood, or if we would go on a trip to the mountains. I remember those things, but then coupled with each one of those stories is another story about, somebody, looking and saying something, or maybe whispering to one of their friends and then pointing. And
I remember a moment when we took Sophia to Philadelphia, and Mark had her in the carrier, and these two girls, they walked by and screamed at the top of their lungs. They startled
me and
all
Sophia,
of us.
yeah.
Sophia jumped, and they just started laughing. And I remember going to the hotel room and just crying.
That's the thing, we never knew what the reaction was going to be. And so at the same time we had that really kind of horrible reaction, this one lady had made it a point to stop me and say to Sophia, "You're amazing and you're beautiful. I'm happy that you're here." And you try not to judge people for how they respond, because we've had time to adjust, obviously, to who she is, and they were for the first time seeing something very different. But at the same time, I think we can all do better and just understand that we are all different in various ways. It was both really high highs and really dark lows that year for me. It was a tough lesson to learn for a new parent.
Who is that? Say hey. Say hello. Hi. Hey. Talk for the camera.
My wish is that you will honor Sophia's memory by committing to teaching your children, classrooms, friends, families, and yourselves about profound disabilities and facial differences. And also follow activists online with disabilities and join their fight for healthcare, equality, accessibility, and so much more.